All right, today we are diving deep into a town that looks like it's straight off a postcard, Bozeman, Montana. So many people think of it as this ultimate mountain paradise, but we're going to uncover a history that is way stranger and way more complex than you'd ever guess. Because hiding just beneath that gorgeous view, Bozeman has some seriously bizarre secrets.
Yeah, when you picture Bozeman, this is it, right? It's beautiful, it's kind of fancy, it's the gateway to Yellowstone, you've got world-class skiing, incredible scenery. I mean, it's totally earned its reputation as one of the best places to live in the entire country.
But what if I told you that this perfect little town was actually founded on unsolved murders? That it's absolutely crawling with ghosts, sitting on top of secret high-tech doomsday bunkers, and is a certified hotspot for UFOs? Yeah, that's the real story we're exploring today.
So let's start at the very beginning. You see, that polished, modern Bozeman we know today, it's built on a pretty gritty foundation of classic Wild West violence, and it all starts with the town's own namesake.
So get this, back in 1867, the guy the town is named after, John Bozeman, turns up dead. The official story that gets put out is that he was ambushed by Blackfeet warriors. But the evidence? It just didn't add up. The shots from way too close. Right away, people started suspecting his own partner, Thomas Cover, was the real killer. I mean, the guy shot himself in the shoulder to make it look real. The town's very first chapter is a full-blown unsolved murder mystery, and the mystery just gets deeper. Just a few months later, the acting territorial governor, a guy named Thomas Meagher, just vanishes. Officially, he accidentally fell off a steamboat, but here's the thing, nobody saw it happen. For decades, the real story on the street was that he was pushed, probably by his political enemies. So let me get this straight. 2 founders, 2 super shady deaths, all in the same year. Something's up. And, this wasn't just about the founders. This violent streak ran deep through early Bozeman. There was a gang called the Innocents, led by a corrupt sheriff, no less, who were behind almost 100 murders before a group of vigilantes finally put a stop to them. Mob justice was pretty common, and the last man ever hanged in the county jail swore he was innocent right up until the end. This kind of history, it doesn't just go away. It seeps into a place.
Okay, so what happens when a town has a past that's this messy? Sometimes it doesn't stay buried. And in Bozeman, it lingers. It sticks around in the form of ghost stories and paranormal activity that are as much a part of the city as the mountains themselves. I mean, downtown Bozeman is basically a ghost tour waiting to happen. At the old Bozeman Hotel, people constantly see lights flickering on their own. Over at the Rialto Theater, a misty figure apparently likes to hang out on stage. And at Montana Alworks, a super popular spot, employees have seen the ghost of a former worker in his signature red and black checkered shirt, just floating over the pool tables. And of course, that old jail, which is now a museum, yeah, it's supposedly one of the most haunted spots in town. And then you've got the legend of the underground tunnels. Stories say this whole network under Main Street was used for everything, smuggling booze during Prohibition, hiding opium dens, you name it. Now, a lot of these were probably just old utility vaults, but the legend is what sticks. And it comes with its own tragic ghost story of 2 young girls who supposedly drowned and now haunt the creek that runs under the street. And hey, it's not just in the city limits. Head just outside town to Bear Canyon, and hikers will tell you about the spirit of a little girl in a white dress that tries to lead them off the trail. Other people have seen the ghost of an old trapper, forever fighting his way through a blizzard. And maybe the weirdest of all, people get these phantom phone calls just full of static in an area where there is absolutely zero cell service. Okay, but the strangeness in Bozeman isn't all ghosts and old-timey legends. Oh no, it's evolved into something way more modern. And honestly, this is where things get really bizarre. So remember those old Prohibition-era tunnels? Well, today there's a new kind of underground network, and this one is 100% real. Turns out Bozeman's geology is super stable, so it's become a hub for these massive, ultra-secure data bunkers. We're talking James Bond-level fortresses, built by tech billionaires and corporations to protect the world's digital information if everything goes sideways. But the secrets aren't just underground, they're also in the sky. Look at this number, 86. That's how many documented UFO sightings there are in Bozeman, making it the #1 hotspot in all of Montana. So why here of all places? Well, it's kind of like a perfect storm. First, you've got these incredibly dark skies with almost no light pollution, which is perfect for spotting, well, anything unusual. And second, it's pretty close to Malmstrom Air Force Base, which is famous for a 1967 incident where UFOs were supposedly connected to the shutdown of nuclear missiles. It's a pretty compelling mix if you're looking for strange things in the sky.
And if that wasn't weird enough for you, just outside of town, you've got the Montana Vortex. It's a tourist spot that's literally described as a gravitational anomaly. People who go there swear that you can see people shrink and grow right in front of you, and that it's almost impossible to stand up straight. Is it a clever trick of the eye or something else? It just adds another layer of mystery to the whole place.
And that legacy of violence we talked about earlier, it didn't just stay in the 19th century. In the 1970s, it came back in a terrifying, modern way. Bozeman was the home of David Meyerhofer, a serial killer whose capture would actually make FBI history. This was a huge deal. It was the very first time the FBI used criminal profiling to actually catch a murderer. So, okay, we've got unsolved murders, ghosts, UFOs, secret doomsday bunkers. How does all of that stuff actually show up in the day-to-day life of the town now? Well, that brings us to what you could call the Main Street paradox. Well, apparently living in Bozeman means you have to learn a whole new set of unwritten rules. Locals will flash their high beams at you, not because they're mad, but to warn you about deer in the road. Saying it's a powder day is a completely valid excuse for skipping work to go skiing. And yeah, according to Star Trek, Bozeman is the official site of humanity's first contact with aliens, and that's a piece of sci-fi lore the town has totally leaned into. But this quote, this one right here, really gets to the heart of it. It captures the modern identity of the town perfectly. It's a place of wild contradictions, where you have unimaginable wealth right next to this super rugged dirtbag outdoor culture. It's a town where it doesn't matter what car you drive, what matters is how much mud is on your boots. So that really leaves us with one big question, right? In a town of ghosts, billionaires, and aliens, what does it even mean to be a local? Bozeman isn't just one thing. It's a Wild West town with an unsolved murder at its core. It's a haunted city with the past is always hanging around. And it's a futuristic hub for doomsday preppers and alien watchers. It's a total paradox. And maybe embracing all those contradictions is what being from Bozeman is really all about.